There we are. Welcome to our new series of Têkkel Talk Show. Always good to have you. And Alberic, what a pleasure to see you again, man.
Lekker, Andy. Lekker. Langlas. Guys, this is season 3. Well done, Andy. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. Got a lot of exciting guests lined up this season, so it's going to be fantastic. And yeah, it's going to be lekker. Every Têkkel Thursday is going to be great. So welcome, guys.
Yeah, welcome to the new series. And obviously, we had a very exciting series in the previous one. But as you can see, our woody tops, it's off. It's springtime. It's a bit hotter. It's warmer. And so too will be series number 3. Gala, my groot vriend daar van die Weskus, is ook terug. En natuurlijk weet ek, Gilme smile van oor tot oor. Van sy All Blacks natuurlijk, Jalby. Het die Springbokke.
Wow, okay. Springboks, okay. Het ook All Blacks gelok na die show toe. Ek bedoel.
Hulle is hier in getalle vanaand. En ons moet sê, All Blacks span wat nie oortuigend is nie, maar wat natuurlijk die Springbok span sterk tussen die bene huis toe gestuur het. En ons gaan baie oor dit gesels vanaand. So ons het ook geluister na die president wat tans besig is om sy slot van sy speech op te rep. So natuurlijk wil ons vir julle ook sê, die wat veilig gebly het, natuurlijk altyd net goed om vir julle ook terug op die show te hê. Maar Alberic, it's all about the Springboks, and obviously we need to eat humble pie this time.
Yeah, massive amounts of humble pie. Ja, kyk, ons is daar gewees en ons is mooi van die troontjie afgehaal en gesê kyk, julle kan maar op die tweede plek gaan sit vir 'n tydjie. No, it's been interesting. We had so much hope going into our last episode of the last season, and that the Boks will put it through. We had one on the show, and we kind of predicted the Boks would at least win one of the games against the All Blacks. But, it just shows, where we're looking at. We were really looking at the All Blacks instead of looking at, the Wallabies and what they had to offer. And they obviously showed us, that we're not that far ahead at all. In fact, we're much closer than what we thought.
Yeah, let's just briefly touch on the 2 Wallabies games. I think, first and foremost, the coaching staff, they got the selections right. I think they learned a lot from the British and Irish Lions last game when Finn Russell came onto the field and actually rattled us. And then they selected Quade Cooper and I was I think the two of us spoke offline. I told you I'm very worried about just the manner in which how Quade Cooper approaches a game. He's going to do things that the Boks are not comfortable with, and he did that. Let's take his kicking performance out of the equation. I think his overall play, I wouldn't say that he hasn't played at this level for quite some time. And in the first test, he was the difference. He played very, very well, got the Australians on the front foot, and the Boks just didn't have the counter for Quade Cooper in the first test.
Oh, exactly. I think he was the big defining factor besides the kicks that you mentioned. He just, I think, with the current sorry. There we go. Sorry, my internet's catching up on my side. With the exciting 10, our game plan is always going to be pushed, to the edges. So the Boks did well to keep the Wallabies up in their first game. But yeah, second game it did definitely count against us.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then obviously we were all, unanimously saying the Boks will bounce back. They won't play 2 poor games in a row. Die tweede toets raak het erger. Die margin raak groter en yes, is bitter om te sien dat ons so gemaklik verloor teen ons span wat nie vir my op hierdie oomblik definitief die wêreld aan die brand speel.
Maar ons het die vermoë om Australië al die jare te laat goed lyk. Let's be frank. We have the ability to we look at the All Blacks. We're really looking over the All Blacks, not looking towards the Wallabies, and we always have a way of almost ignoring that their capabilities. I'm not too sure who wrote the article about the fact that the Wallabies and the Boks actually have the closest right, and the All Blacks have just extended that.
Mark away.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, they just knew that we know how to make them look good at the end of the day. And let's be frank, the players besides Quade Cooper, there's the players besides 1 or 2 players that are not pretty good. I'm looking at the forward prop. I can't get his name right now. There's some exciting players, but again, they're not the caliber of what the All Blacks can dish up, or even the Boks, to be frank. But we made them look good on the day. We didn't execute our tackles. We didn't execute our game plan as we would have. And we're going to get into that later on in the show.
Yeah, and if you looked out on our social media platforms, the theme of this show was to kick or not to kick, and we're going to really get into that a little bit later on. But before we get there, we have a Super Brew pool. Hier is 'n paar Springbokke wat die Aussies gekies het. En hulle het mooi opbeweeg. Kom ons loer gou daar. It changed totally. We have, guys that actually picked the Australians and they actually moved from bottom of the lock. But die geel keppie daar, Boeta Def, wat gespring het van, remember this guy was in the relegation zone 2 weeks ago. Hy spring daar vanaf en hy spring reg op na 5de posisie toe. Ons het daarso vir die I wat nog steeds comfortable sit, maar ek wil Bluebird. Onthou julle vir Bluebird was op die show gewees, lekker gepraat. Bluebird val jong, ek weet nie. Hy val reg af tot daar, lyk my 14de of 15de plek. Maar daar het julle die locks en op die oomblik natuurlik is dit 'n paar manne wat 'n baie goeie skuwe gemaak het. Die relegasiesone nog altyd Sinclair hulle wat daar in die relegation zone lê, maar daar is nog wedstryde oor om jouself te redeem, guys. Maar daar het jy dit natuurlik speel ons vir hy wonderlike Têkkel Talk Show trui, so 'n sublimate trui en ons weet natuurlik dat dit 'n groot prys is om te wen. So kom ons kyk wat die manne se picks gaan wees hierdie naweek.
Ja, kyk, waar ek lê, ek het regtig ek wil nie die trui gewen nie. Dis maar hoekom ek maar 14de lê. Ja, dis nou as jy met jou hart piek op die bokke. So kyk, ek het met my hart gepiek eerste 2 keer. In fact, by die laaste keer het ek definitief met my hart gepiek en kyk wat gebeur. Ek het my lê maar nou op die tweede kant van die log, maar een van die dinge.
Ja, en ek hoop daar is mense op die lyne wat saam met ons gaan klets. So kom ons, daar's Patricia Brinkhuis is ook op die lyn en sy sê welkom terug. Maar kom ons gaan, let's go straight into the discussions for tonight. And I suspect it's going to get very, very warm in here because we are both passionate, but it's not all about what we are saying. Today, there was a very, very interesting article in the Son Courant about the Springboks and their DNA in approaching attacking play. It was written by Shafiq Baton. Shafiq was on our show previously, but I think because of our theme, talking about the kicking, is it perhaps too much? We thought to have it, we need to have a chat with Shafiq, and Shafiq will just take us through that article. I think it's a very informative article, a different angle, and tonight we have Shafiq on our show. Fikkie, goeienaand en welkom weer eens hierso by die wonderlike Têkkel Chat met die Têkkel Talk Show. Is weer lekker om vir jou terug te hê en ek weet jy is net so warm onder die krag. like ons het net 'n klein delay like dit vir my daar by Safik. Safik, kan jy ons hoor?
Die lyn is bietjie swak aan my kant. Ek weet nie of julle vir my kan hoor nie.
Ons hoor jou, jy kan voortgaan. Maar welkom by die Têkkel Talk Show.
Goeienaand, kan jy my hoor man? Die lyn is bietjie swak hier aan my kant vanaand. Ek weet nie hoekom nie.
Okay, ons kan jou hoor, maar ek kan sien daar's 'n bietjie van 'n delay. Kan jy vir ons hoor?
Ek kan julle nou hoor, ja.
Ek het vlugtig vir jou net voorgestel en net vir die luisteraars en vir die kykers uitgewys oor jou artikel vandag in die Sonkoerant waar jy spesifiek verwys het na die Springbokke se DNA en waaroor hierdie Springboks van werklik gaan. Raak gou 'n bietjie aan daai punte want ons gaan later met die kykers 'n bietjie gesels oor hulle opinie oor die geskoppery. Maar gee vir ons in 'n neutedop waaroor het jy geskryf en hoekom is daardie artikel so populêr? Ek weet jy het 'n paar manne 'n bietjie geskit met die stellings wat jy gemaak het, maar gesels 'n bietjie saam met ons oor die artikel.
Ja, my vrou het vanmiddag op Facebook gekom en dat sy deur die venster loer om te kyk wie aan my deur gaan kom klop oor daai artikel. Maar ek dink dis net nodig dat mense moet weet dat rugby is 'n bedryf, dis 'n besigheid. En as jy kyk na die volhoubaarheid van die bedryf, dit is entertainment of dit gaan oor entertainment. Mense betaal DStv, mense betaal in die verlede betaal groot geld om rugby te kan kyk. Veral toetsrugby, toetskaartjies is glad nie goedkoop. Ek dink dit was nog laas R1000 of so iets vir die All Blacks as hulle hier kom kuier vir ons op. Die bokke, die personeel om 'n meer aanvallende benadering te volg. Ek sê 'n meer aanvallende benadering. Ons vra nie dat die bokke die bal heeltyd moet rondgooi en sewe's rugby of touch rugby speel. Skoppe Saterdag was letterlik 25 meters van die All Blacks se doellyn af. So die negatiewe benadering volgens my is net die Annie. Veral as jy kyk na manne soos Faf de Klerk, Andre Pollard, Wally Leroux, die manne wat die skopwerk doen. As jy daai manne gaan bestudeer en kyk hoe hulle tot op hierdie vlak gekom het. Faf de Klerk deur Pumas en toe later met die Lions waar hy en Elton Jantjies die touwtjies getrek het vir eers John Mitchell, Carlos Spencer, Swys de Bruyne en Johan Ackerman, daai manne. Die Lions was Suid-Afrika se mees suksesvolste span in die laaste 5 jaar van Super Rugby. Hulle 3 finals agter volgens gespeel. Pollard, ek maak net een voorbeeld, die 2014 toets op Ellis Park, waar hy die All Blacks die verdedigingslinie aan die raai gehou, en hy speel vir my so ver terug in die pocket, soos het nou noem, en is man wat die up and unders launch of contestable kick, soos hulle sê deesdae. Dieselfde met Wally Leroux. Wally het vir Boland gespeel, hy was 'n attacking genius, man. Hy het op first receiver ingekom en gemaak wat hy wou. En deesdae is Wally 'n skaduwee van hy speler. Ja, hy is ook nie meer die jongste, man. Maar op daai noot, hulle praat die hele tyd van it's in our DNA, it's in our DNA. It's not in our DNA, sê ek. Veral as ek in die verlede het ons manne soos Brandstraten, Louis Koen, Trevor Halstead en daai manne in die agterlyn gaan. Dan moet jy jou wedstrydplan aanpas volgens die personeel wat jy het, en dan kan jy 'n meer sal ek maar sê konservatiewe benadering volg waar jy die bal na die hoeke te skop of nie die bal nie verder as nommer 12 gaan nie. Maar Diamond Allende en Lucanio Am is van die wêreld se beste centers en ek kan dit met die grootste vryheid sê. Die Ferraris aan die buitekant, die Mapimpies en die Colbys en die Nkosies, die Speksmans en die Fassies, daai man het op die vak gekom deur 3 te druk, deur hardloop rugby te speel, deur aanvallende rugby te speel. Nou word hulle, ek dink Johannes Dampie sal sê, hulle is nou Ferraris, maar hulle moet die werk van 'n John Deere ploegmasjien doen. Man. Dis onregverdig teenoor hy manne.
Nee, verseker. En in 'n neutedop Safiek, ek dink ek wil die mense aanraai gaan kyk aanlyn op die Shaun se webwerf waar jy ek dink 3-4 kolomme geskryf het oor dit. En ek dink een van die grootste pundits en ek is so lief om te luister na Skalk Burger. Hy het die woord gebruik intent, in Engels natuurlik, en intensie, in jou intensie op die aanval. En dit was so opvallende woord, Safiek en Jalberry, dat ons intensie op die aanval is jy weet, ek weet nie eens of ons intensie het nie, want soos Safiek in sy artikel aangeraak het, ons skop die bal in die lug, maar dis altyd 'n lotery. Hoekom wil jy lotto speel? Jy kan of die bal terugwen of nie. Daar's soveel wat kan skeefloop in die aerial contest, soos die Engelsman sê, waar jy natuurlik soveel meer beheer het wanneer jy die bal in hand hou. So definitief Safiek, baie meriete in jou artikel. Ons het nou weer dieselfde span gekies. Wat is jou vooruitsigte vir hierdie komende Saterdag?
Net in terme van dit ook, dieselfde span is gekies, ek dink Oxenchain en daar was 1 of 2 veranderinge. Maar hoe bou jy diepte op sekere posisies? Ons weet nou nog wie ons nommer 2 loskakel na Pollard. Is dit Elton Jantjies? Is dit Damian Willemse? Is dit Morne Steyn op 37 jaar oud? As Pollard in die eerste minuut seer kry en is uit vir 6 maande, wie gaan inkom? Dieselfde in die centerpaar, Wandy Silas en Melanie speel nou al die afgelope 2 jaar goeie rugby, hy's jonk, hy's vinnig, hy's voortvarend. En so kan ek aangaan. Ek dink jy as iemand wat Damian Dalende se skoene kan volstaan op die oomblik, want die succession plan is nie vir my van buite af. Kyk, is nie duidelik nie. Apelele Fassie kan nie meer speel nie. Wie is die volgende man? En ek dink ons het geleenthede verspeel om die diepte te bou. En ek hoop dat die span wat gekies is, somehow net die knop sal deurraak. Ek weet nie of dit gaan gebeur nie. En nog 'n ding wat my bekommer is dat ons verloor nou, ons weet hoeveel baie All Black supporters hier in die land is, veral die ouer garde wat weens politieke redes die All Black support. Maar ons verloor nou of ons loop die gevaar om nog 'n generasie te verloor weens die tipe rugby. Ek verteenwoordig spelers, jong manne, en ek kan sien hoe die manne opkyk na Barrett en Moanga en Aaron Smith en die manne vra hoekom. En die redes is altyd dieselfde. Die manne speel lekker rugby, aanvallende rugby met flair en dis hoe ek wil speel, sal hulle sê. En ons loop die werklike gevaar dat ons nog steeds Suid-Afrikaners gaan kry 20, 30, 40 jaar van nou af wat vir die All Blacks gaan skree en nie om die redes as wat ons generasie, die wat voor ons gegaan het of gekom het vir hulle skree nie.
Hy's 'n baie goeie punt, Shafiq. Dit gou 'n vraag en ek kom nou hierop, ek nou hier 'n paar comments hardop. Die feit dat dit moontlik onder instruction is. Die feit dat die manne skop sonder om op te kyk of waar spasie is en so en so. Moet hy tipe situasies kan ons dit op die speler blameer of moet dit op na die coach toe gaan en sê kyk, you're not allowing the players to make their own choices on the field. Is it the matter of the coaches and the instruction, or is it the matter of players being out of form?
Nee, ek is 100% seker daai speler speel onder instruksie. As jy kyk, die klok het gewys 78. Jantjies het 'n bokskick gaan gee. IWK, WP Stormers en in die bokspan gekom het, is nie 'n man wat hy sal doen nie. So ek is 100% seker dit kom van bo af. En as jy kyk na Jacques Nienaber, hy was nog nooit 'n hoofafrigter nie. Hy was nog altyd 'n verdedigingsafrigter en ook voor dit 'n fisioterapeut. So dit is 100% van die afrigters af. Even ek dink Rassie is hier in die land, maar ek dink baie van die afrigting word nog deur hom gedoen, whether it's now digital or via Zoom or emails or whatever. Ek dink ook Rassie moet bietjie versigtig wees. Hy's baie vocal op Twitter, veral na daai video. En ek dink ook dis tyd dat hy die job van direkteur van rugby doen, die suits dra en nie die sweetpak met 'n waterbottel in die hand nie. Hy is veronderstel om na die die hele struktuur van SA Rugby se rugby te kyk. Dit wil sê die Springbokke, die Blitsbokke, die vroue, die franchises, die Kerkap First Division, die Baby Boks, al daai strukture val onder hom, so hy is oor hoofs daaroor en hy is nie meer die hoofafrigter nie. As hy die hoofafrigter van die bokke wou gewees het, dan sou hy nog gewees het. So ek dink Rassie moet 'n bietjie sy vizier skuif na wat hy eintlik moet doen en die afrigting aan die afrigters oorlaat. Is Jacques Nienaber die ou? Daar is 'n ander vraag want hy en Rassie is so spinkel en koliander nou al die afgelope 20-30 jaar. Daar is die een sonder die ander nie. En is Nienaber uit sy diepte uit as 'n hoofafrigter? Moet ons vra. Dion Davids was byvoorbeeld die afrigter van die Kings vir lank. Umzwandile Stick was 'n Blitsbok en hy's ook die attack coach en off the ball coach. En daar niemand dink ek doen goed met die scrums. Maar ons moet daai tipe vrae ook begin antwoord. En as ons nou 4 in 'n ry verloor, die kanse is goed. Dan wat gebeur dan? Ons het vir Alistair Coetzee uitgeskop toe dit met hom gebeur het.
Shafiq, voor ons groet, daar's natuurlik kom Michael de Kok wat saam met jou saamstem. Hy sê 2019 is verby en daar is baie wat 'n hand opsteek. Voor ons vir jou laat gaan, sien jy die Springbokke nader hierdie week of dink jy die All Blacks gaan hy voorsprong red op nie net op die IRB Ranking nie, in terme van die eindtelling?
Nee, ek dink die All Blacks sal steeds sterk wees vir die Bokke. In my hart hoop ek dat hulle tog sal wen, maar mens moet ook na die groter prentjie kyk. Die squad depth is nie wat dit moet wees nie, want daar's manne soos Spekman, Dan de Pre, Jean-Luc de Pre, en so kan ek aangaan, Jaden Hendricks en Grant Williams, wat nou al vir maande aan een in die borrel is. En net tacklebacks was so, en 'n mens moet ook 'n bietjie simpatie hê met die Bokke. Van hulle sal sê dit my in die bubbles. So dit het 'n impak op jou siege en are you up for it every week, every training session?
Ja.
Die manne is ver van hulle gesinne af, so 'n mens, hulle is ook mense after all. Is meer voortvarend, and again in saying that, we don't want them to run from their own 22. Maar as jy in aanvallende posisies is en jy kry vinnige bal by die losgemale, gebruik daai verrassings aan hulle aan jou buitekant, man. Die manne hou van druk.
Ja. 100%.
Nee, verseker. Shafiq, weer eens dankie dat jy vir ons gejoin het. Dit is altyd lekker om met jou te gesels. En dan vir die kykers, loer 'n bietjie daar in die son, gaan kyk 'n bietjie daar op Facebook. Shafiq skryf elke dag en dan een keer 'n week natuurlik 'n lekker kolom in die son en hy lig vir ons altyd in met sy insig. So gaan loer 'n bietjie daar. Fikkie, altyd lekker om met jou te gesels en voorspoed daar met jou agentskap waar jy ook omsien na spelers, jong spelers wat moontlik die professionele rugby wil betree, maar voorspoed en baie dankie.
Baie dankie, Hein. Dankie Alberik. Lekker aan verder.
Sy altyd lekker om met Shafiq te praat. Ja, Berik, what do you make of Shafiq's comment? I think this guy is just open-minded and really, I think the article was brilliant.
It's the nail on the head. It's the nail on the head. And the fact that he mentioned these players they're exciting players. Let's not forget, guys, and we're quick to burn the Fafs and the Pollards. Pollard came on and Fikkie mentioned that now, the game that he scored 2 tries against the All Blacks, he was running flat. The All Blacks didn't know what to do. He was running with the ball in front of his hands. Now he's standing so deep. He's predictable. He's lost that edge that we know that Pollard. I mean, I'm a big Pollard fan. But at the moment, he's just like a slimmer of what he used to be. And the players itself, and Faf, he's a great player. But Faf was just, I think the fact that he's playing on instruction, he's kind of lost the fact that he can use initiative in those dying moments. It's heartening disheartening to see like Herschel Jantjies, kicking a ball like that when we know that he's a player that would look for gaps and look for the be on the fringes and look for a sniping opportunity. And with regards to the article, I mean, if you look at our DNA of SA Rugby, we had a massive, not even pre-92, we had the Dani Gerbers and the Germers. These guys were running backline players. They were fantastic to watch.
For sure.
The Edo Tobias, they were players that knew when to spot the gap and kick where it needed to be kicked. We're not saying that we shouldn't kick. You know, for part of the game, the first try, for example, that was a fantastic opportunity that was taken by whoever that it was Pollard.
I think Faf kicked the ball and Kochi scored.
It worked for.
Yeah, I think you're breaking up a bit there, Beric, on my side. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
No. You just spoke about, but I use the word intent. Skalkberger used the word intent. I just want to also throw another word in before we get to the lines, because there's a lot of people online. I want to use the word judgment. Within a game plan, nobody can simulate an exact situation. No coach. And I'm not here to criticize coaches. I think Safik mentioned, if it comes from the top, if what we see comes from the very top, I am extremely, extremely concerned. And I want to put in a word called judgment, because I believe that some of the guys really, especially in open play, we have really, really poor judgment. And we have a few clubs. I think our Beric is just struggling with his connection there. Yes, you're back. We have a few clips. And I just want to show that quickly to some of our viewers. There you have it. And this is in the 74th minute. Now, I'm going to take the gloves off slightly here. This is just after Van Staden broke out of our 22. We get a good breakout. We're chasing the game. Obviously, we are still, in the lead here. Okay, this is not the clip where Van Staden broke. We're going to look at that. But just look at that quickly. You've got Faf de Klerk right there, and just look on the outside. We've marked on the outside there. We've got a few players of the Springboks. If he had the judgment to look to his right, and look who's there. It looks like Willie Leroux, Andre Pollard lining up. He's got Speeches on his outside, and hello, 3 All Black players. Now I'm telling you, if your judgment leaves you here, then I have serious concerns. I believe that Faf never looked. Now, if you play this clip, and we don't have the visuals, Faf actually bangs this ball straight down the throat of an All Black player. It's very concerning, Alberic. If he just had a look there, it was on, and it was a training ground drill. Trek and gee, and wat het jy daar? 'n 2-man overlap. We squander that.
That's called rugby essentials, if you want to call it basics. The fact that you're drawing, there's clearly 5-on-3, that's an overlap. And the fact that he didn't recognize the fact that he could have gone on the outside and weighed up his options. That's again, we spoke about instruction earlier. The fact that he is actually, without even thinking, following instruction and not playing the situation. And I think that's the big thing that SA fans have an issue with, is playing the situation when it calls for a specific move.
Kom ons gebruik versagtende omstandighede. Kom ons sê Faf de Klerk het by daai rak uitgekom. Hy's 'n linkervoetskopper. Dit wil sê die geleentheid is agter sy rug. Hy het nie gekyk nie. Sy oordeel het hom in die judgment. Sy oordeel het hom die steek gelaat. Toe hy die bal raak, as hy links kyk, is hy 'n All Black ou wat aan die verkeerde kant staan. Dit wil sê daar's 14 All Blacks voor hom en 'n All Black wat offside is. Hy moet dan identifiseer, listen, there is chaos. Daar's forwards wat nou staan op backline players se plekke en daar's backline spelers wat staan op forwards se plekke. Guys, if you are getting paid to do this and you squander this, I'm seriously worried. I'm seriously worried. And if it happens once or twice or thrice in 80 minutes, right? Let's say mediation. Yes, kerels, as jy dit 6-7 keer doen in 80 minute, een speler, I am seriously concerned. Yeah, Barry. Let's just show the other clip as well before we get some comments on this. There's another clip. Here we have it. It's been all over on social media. Ons het sommer die van die TV afgestep, né? There you have it. We have the All Blacks in disarray. On the ball, you have your best decision maker. If he looks up there, he sees 2 forwards. En as my oë my nie bedrieg nie, is een op prop. Een van hulle is 'n stit. Guess what happens next? Andre Pollard kicks that ball. It's a very, I don't know.
The All Blacks live up mismatches. They create opportunities, and that is a clear mismatch. You have I think is that a lock? That's a Retallick running there, and I think it's number 6 running on the outside. And you have Nkosi and the Lendi on the outside. That is a clear situation of play, draw the man, and pass. That's it. And what happened to the same players that played against the All Blacks in Wellington? In fact, it's 90% of the same team. They took these opportunities. And a wing like Janti had a few. They scored 2 tries on the day. So what happened to these players? What happened? Have they been overcoached? Can it be, like Vicky said, is the fact that they were in a bubble? Maybe they have one foot on the plane, wanting to go home already. But in this professional age, guys, I mean, we should really be able to have seen this gap.
What is ironic? What is ironic? And we're going to wrap this up now. What is ironic about this specific image, guys, is that the Springboks game plan, what they are doing with the forwards, they're mauling, their aerial kicking. The product of what they are doing is exactly what we are seeing here. The objective of their game plan is to create mismatches and holes in the opposition. That is their objective. Yeah. And now you get the situation where you have created the mismatch. You have your best decision maker on the ball. You've got the All Blacks in disarray. You've got 15 green jerseys going forward. Ja, die ref, ek blyk my die ref hardloop in die regte direction. Ons flyers kopie bal. Ons flyers kopie bal. Ek weet nie. Nina Haber spoke about if you can create a mismatch one-on-one, you can also create a one-on-one in the air. I don't have a coaching qualification, but somewhere your common sense need to kick in. Common sense, rugby intelligence, you're a professional. What do I see in front of me, and what do I need to play to get the ball behind the whitewash? If we want to play for penalties and territory, that is fine. But again, Alberic, we can talk about this over and over. We're not criticizing the game plan. The game plan has won us a World Cup.
Exactly. The type of game plan we have, it wins World Cups. Let's be frank, it wins World Cups. But if you're 12 points behind, we saw even in the World Cup, when the All Blacks scored 2 tries, we have to chase the game. We can't be chasing a game with this kind of game plan. That's just plain and simple. And like you said, you don't need a rugby qualification to know that. If you know simple maths, and it's 5-on-3, you have a 2-player overlap. Simple maths. You need to know a bit of maths, that's all. And the fact that wasn't even taken into the calculation before making those plays is mind-boggling. Like you mentioned, these guys are professionals. And again, whether it's a Jacques thing, whether Jacques he's a brilliant defensive coach. Is the fact that he is a defensive coach. If that's his forte, is that the problem? Maybe why we aren't, pushing our attacking abilities better, because we said that we've got great players on the outside, and Jacques not making use of those players. And again, looking at this week's selections, I think we should have rattled things up a bit. We could have thrown in a Fassi. We could have thrown in Damon Willems. We could have thrown in Elton. And giving them opportunity and say, listen, guys, let's see what you can do under this game plan. I'm pretty sure, as much as we have the detractors for Elton Jankies, he knows space. He knows when to pass. He knows when to identify, when to kick. And that is what a flyer should be doing on the international stage. And that is where we are seriously lacking. Our playmakers are not playing at all, bottom line.
Let's get a few comments on social media. And I want whoever is listening, I want you guys to see it in this perspective that we as coaches, we are looking at this. Just for clarity. We put Francois Steyn on the field with a few minutes to go. Let's give the coaches the benefit of the doubt. Here is a guy with a kicking boot. If a penalty comes, he can bang it over from very far. Makes total sense to me. I was worried a bit, but it makes total sense. I'm trying to get into the head of the coaches here. Right? Francois Steyn is on the field. We get the territory. We win territory. We are in their territory where Francois Steyn might be able to nail it. He can kick 60 meters. I think when Herschel kicked that ball, we were about 45 meters out. Yeah. Bang! Herschel kicks the ball. Now all of a sudden, I'm sitting here and thinking, wow, what was the purpose of France being on? And there we have a comment from Michael de Kock saying, die bokke maak rugby complicated. Dit is 'n eenvoudige game. I believe, Alberic, the Boks have a very, very simple game plan, an effective game plan. We buried the British and Irish Lions. What we are saying and what Safik is mentioning, just show some attacking intent.
That's all. That's all we are.
Ons kan nie druk van 'n ou wat 'n bal misvang nie, man. Dis 'n lottery. Dan kan ons mos maar 'n powerball quick pick speel.
I mean, maar kyk evens in the World Cup, die feit dat and I also want to go as far as saying that we don't want to blame the fact that there's few players not there, but we can't be depending on a Têkkel Kobe to live off scraps to win us games. Let's just be frank. Opportunities need to be created for a Cheslin or in Corsi or in Pimpy to score the tries. That last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, our game management, there was no game management. Let's put it out there. There was no game management at all from us. The fact that we kicked the ball with 6 minutes to go, where we should have been driving. Vincent Koch was on the front foot. He was nailing. I don't know, came with the bench from the All Blacks. He was nailing the All Blacks in the scrums. There was a walking penalty for us. So why we didn't play the ball, make sure we can get going over the gain line, making sure if we had to kick into territory instead of kicking into the guy's hands. And it's simple rugby with simple game management. With 2 minutes to go, we should be chasing the game. We're 2 points behind. We should be chasing. We should be running at the All Blacks and making every opportunity count. In fact, what do? We kick the ball. Mind-boggling. So
let's answer our own question. We asked on social media. The question was to kick or not to kick. And to wrap this topic off from the Têkkel Talk Show, we are saying kicking is important, in our game plan. We have a very good maul. We can kick territory. We have a very good line out, and even a defensive line out for the Springboks. We can really, really rattle them, and we've proven that. What we are saying, if we do, boom, hit the up and under, and Nkosi, Mapimpi, Valileru, those guys win the aerial contest. We win it back. What do we do? What do we do to put those players? Remember, if we do kick on Jordy Barrett, you've got 13, 12 All Black players scrambling in the wrong direction to get back on obviously to get on side, but also to clean a ruck. So the momentum have shifted now. We are going forward. Our opposition they are going backwards. What are we doing? What is it that our playmakers is seeing in front of them? So we are not here to bash the kicking game out there. We are here to say, let's go back to what worked for us. We've seen brilliant tries in a World Cup final by two wingers, Makazolo Mapimpi and Cheslin Kobe, creating the mismatches and making sure that we capitalize on that. And that is what we want. That is what we want.
And only for parts of the game, let's be honest also, there was parts of the game where we had, I think the last 10 minutes, there were moments, not extended periods, but there were moments where we actually had the All Blacks against the
Oh yes.
We actually had
hulle was op die toue.
Nee, hulle was. Die feit dat
all over the place.
Ek begin skree die kant. Maar die feit dat van Staden begin haloop het, it showed that they were being rattled. The fact that we were ons was saggemaak voor en die ouers van Staden het begin hardloop met die bal. That was a sign to us like, hey, we can actually win this game. Why did it take us, all that time to make sure that we could run at the play and make sure we can win those collisions? And there was moments, like I said, where the All Blacks look rattled. They had a knock-ons that we haven't seen before. We didn't see David Avili or Iohani as a centre guard. We hardly saw them in the game feature besides a few knock-ons. So which meant that our tactics, there was moments where it was working, but the moments where we wanted to give that knockout punch to really take them out, then we would have been seeing a different tune. The fact that we couldn't do that, that's the most worrying thing. So guys, we're not saying we're bashing the Boks. We're bashing our very strong, dominant forward play that we have. But at the end of the day, we've got exciting backs that just needs 20% more balls, and they'll be, hoeveel as al pere wees. So dis al wat ek sê.
Dis af en toe sê en nou die All Blacks het gesê 50-tal teen die Springbokke. Hier kom 'n 50-tal. Ons gaan die bokke wegvat. En ons sê 'n goeie en beter en more determined performance van die Springbokke. Goed op defense, paar goeie tackles gemaak. Divan Green wat daar so sê, die game plan, jy weet gaan nie om ons wingsie, ons soek bal in die hand. Kobe sal meer devastating wees as hy die bal kry en hy's reg. So ek wil saamstem met Divan. Al wat ons wil hê is kom ons wanneer ons in 'n situasie kom waar ons die nommer 1 span in die wêreld, die All Blacks op die toue het. Nou was tye wat ek gesê het, it's coming. Die dam wil gaan bars. Die dam wil gaan bars. Wat doen ons? We relieve the pressure by with a poor kick. All we want is when we have the All Blacks on the ropes, sit die killer blou in, man. Slaan hom op die ken, hy moet lê. En ons het hulle gehad Saterdag. 2 punte verskil, en ons gee krediet aan die All Blacks. Maar die Springbokke, dink ek, het 'n gulden geleentheid deur die hande laat glip om die All Blacks weg te sit. En Izzy wat daar so sê, jy weet, ons kan nie fases opsit nie volgens hom en Jacques. So jy weet, en dis ook 'n ander probleem, jy weet, ons fase speel. So ja, Berry, ek dink ons jou vooruitsigte vir hierdie naweek is 'n bietjie van 'n verandering in die All Blacks span. Ek dink hulle het hulle span verbeter. En Anton Leonard Brown is in en Sevories natuurlik wat inkom wat ook nie sleg is onder die hoë bal nie. Wat dink jy? Kan ons hulle klop hierdie naweek?
Of course, I definitely think so. I think we were so close to winning them last week. If there's a game that would we could look at as the World Cup final, we played Wales in the semis and we played very kind of boring rugby. Everybody complained about it. We beat them with the same game plan. Come to the final, we took the opportunities. When the opportunities presented itself, we either had advantage or not advantage. Why do we have to wait for those moments to get it before we start running the balls when we get the advantage? When those opportunities came, we took it, and we saw a brilliant total performance in the final. That's what this Saturday calls for. This Saturday calls for that type of surprise the All Blacks when they think we're going to kick, we run at them. When they think that we're going to run them, then we kick. So we keep them guessing all the time. And I think that's what the great Boks teams of all that could beat I'm looking at the 2009 Boks. When the intercept opportunity was there, Jean de Villiers took it. But it's those kind of moments that we need to take on Saturday. Those kind of moments that we need to grab hold by the horns and make sure that we can give that knockout punch. Because frankly, guys, there was definitely opportunities where we could put the All Blacks away, and I'm hoping the Saturday will definitely be one of those.
Wise words from Alberic. With the Boks, they have the credentials to bounce back. Just a slight mindset change, and we will certainly be in the game come Saturday. Let's just have a quick peek at what is lying ahead. There are obviously 2 competitions that have our interest, the Rugby Championships. Lekker vroegoggend met 'n koppie swart koffie. Beloer julle daai Australië teen Argentinië wedstryd. Ek voorspel die Aussies gaan weer daar met gemak die Argentyne klop. Die Argentines, jy weet, hulle het so 10-15 minute van briljantheid in 'n wedstryd, maar nie goed genoeg om die Aussies te klop nie. En dan die grootte, net voor jou ladies pasel, koud raak, net so voor lunchtime. Skop die Nieu-Seeland en Suid-Afrika af. Dit gaan 'n thriller wees en soveel trots en jy weet, soveel rus nou. Al wen ons die Rugby Championships CLB, if we come out of this game as a Springbok team, playing like we should play, dink ek, gaan die rugby publiek 'n bietjie meer genadig wees.
Exactly, and that's all that we ask for, is the fact that we know that what they're capable of. We know that they were below par against the Wallabies, and we know that they could have put them away. This game, if there's one game, or we said it last week as well, to each other at least, is the fact that we at least win the All Blacks. We can shake it up a bit. The rest of the world of rugby will look at us and say, but okay, the Boks are onto something. That the fact that they can't beat the All Blacks at least once, out of the 2 games that we played against them. And with the first game being so tight, it could have gone either way. So I mean, the Boks really have to show their showed what they worth. We know that they are capable of winning. They've been against it, many times, and this is an opportunity for them to shake things up.
And we can bounce back. We can bounce back. And then we also have the United Rugby Championships. Ons spanne sukkel 'n bietjie hierso om aan die gang te kom. Die Lions was vinnig uit die blokke uit, and they proved that they might just be the dark horse in this competition. And then obviously our other teams, they had big fixes, but I also believe that the Stormers had the opportunity to win that game. Unfortunately, fitness letting them down. A few, maybe one or two calls, which I believe in the latter stages of the game went against them. But if you have a lead like that, the Stormers are they should have. They should put the opposition away.
Yeah, no, exactly. And kudos to the Lions. They played fantastic this weekend. I think of all the teams, they really kind of showed, besides the second half, which they kind of fell back. They played some fantastic rugby. And that's, it's almost refreshing to watch them play after this Boks rugby that we've been seeing for the last few weeks and seeing. But there is actually hope. There's hope for us. The fact that our players are running the way that they can run. And the Lions showed it. So yeah, I'm still a Stormers fan at the end of the day. But it's good to see our SA teams that we know what they are capable of, and we know that they can put these teams away.
And obviously, no easy fixtures for the South African teams. It just gets more difficult, as you can see the Sharks playing Glasgow and the Stormers having to face Munster. So guys, that is all we have time for in our first episode of the new series. Next week, it's not going to be all of us. Like we encourage a culture of recognition. We're talking to an entrepreneur and former junior Springbok captain. We're not going to tell you who it is, but we will have him on our show telling us about his new business venture and how it happened that he changed his career from perhaps a future professional rugby player to being an entrepreneur and also living out his life in the corporate world.
And I need one more thing before we go. Guys, this is your last weekend to send us your super fan picture, whether you're All Black, whether you're Wallaby, whether you're Argentina or Boks fan. Send us your pictures. We're going to be announcing the winner next week. So, guys, please, last weekend, and to send us your pictures.
En Gilma, groete daar so vir die mense. Ek verneem sy was vroeg op die show. Stuur maar daai fotootjie daar wat jy staan met jou All Black jerseys. Ook ons verwelkom almal van hulle. En ons weet jy's baie All Blacks op die show en hulle natuurlik hierdie week vir nou sterk in die lug. Maar dinge kan baie anders lyk 2 uur Suid-Afrikaanse tyd hierdie komende Saterdag. Dankie, daar is Gilma. Hy is nog op die show. Gilma, kom nou. Stuur daar vir ons 'n mooi piek van jouself en natuurlik jou seun wat ek glo stoere All Blacks ondersteuners is. Dit het so die laaste paar jaar so goed gegaan nie. Ons het natuurlik die Springbokke gesien wat top op die IRB log was, maar nou smile julle mos baie breed. En baie groete daar vir die mense in Kuiselvier, vir EJ, vir Safiq, vir almal wat op die show was. Michael de Kok groete daar vir jou mense en volgende week praat ons dan natuurlik met een van ons gaste waar ons weer sê baie dankie vir die rol wat hulle speel. Dan tot volgende week, Albert, stay safe, kom ons wees veilig, kom ons maak seker dat ons almal volgende week kan intune. Check asseblief hierdie show uit @Têkkel Talk. Ons is op YouTube, ons is op Facebook, praat saam op Twitter. Dan sien ons mekaar volgende donderdag, selfde tyd, selfde plek. Totsiens.